If you like our video, click the button to subscribe to our channel and get easy access to new content. To see our full suite of ad-free video courses, instruction manuals, and quick reference guides, visit us at www.teachucomp.com. The sponge tool in Photoshop lets you apply localized changes to the color saturation of an area of pixels in a Photoshop document. To use the sponge tool in Photoshop, click the sponge tool button in the Tools panel. This tool shares the same button as the Dodge tool and Burn tool, and the button shows the icon of the tool last selected. So, if needed, click and hold down on this button in the Tools panel, and then select Sponge Tool from the side menu that appears to select it. Optionally, to show a drop down menu of Save Tool presets from which you can choose if you created any for the selected tool, click the Click to Open the Tool Preset Picker button at the left end of the Options Bar control panel and select a saved preset choice. To change the brush settings of the sponge tool after selecting it in Photoshop, click the Click to Open the Brush Preset Picker drop down button in the Options Bar control panel to show a drop down menu of brush options. These are the same options as when setting brush options for the brush tool, as discussed in the earlier lesson titled How to Use the Brush Tool in Photoshop, so we will not review them all here for brevity's sake. To show or hide the Brush Settings panel, click the Toggle the Brush Settings panel button in the Options Bar control panel. You can set options for the sponge tool here as discussed in the earlier lesson titled How to Use the Brush Settings panel in Photoshop. To select the Color Saturation Adjustment method when using the sponge tool in Photoshop, select a choice from the Method dropdown in the Options Bar control panel. To set the flow of the color saturation adjustment of the sponge tool, click the Flow dropdown in the Options Bar control panel, and then use the slider to set its value. Lower values produce a more subtle effect. To toggle applying the adjustment using an airbrush style buildup effect on or off, click the Enable Airbrush Style Buildup Effects button in the Options Bar control panel. To change the angle of the sponge tool, enter the angle in degrees within the Set the Brush Angle field in the Options Bar control panel. To minimize clipping for fully saturated or desaturated colors, check the Vibrance checkbox in the Options Bar control panel. Optionally, to toggle using tablet or pen pressure to change the size of the brush when using the tool in conjunction with a tablet or pen on or off, click the Always Use Pressure for Size when off Brush Preset Controls Pressure button at the end of the Options Bar control panel. To adjust the color saturation after setting the desired options for the sponge tool in Photoshop, click and drag over the pixels to adjust within the selected layer in the Photoshop document. Remember to click the subscribe button to see more of our videos. See our full suite of courses, instruction manuals, and quick reference guides at www.teachucomp.com.